Hello there, and welcome back. Just a quick video for you today with a more advanced scouting technique. You may have seen some streamers and replays of players waving their lookouts, which is basically a watchtower, around their city. This video explains exactly what they're doing, why, and when to do it. At the end of the video will be a live example, and a few more advanced tips and tricks you may not know. If you're a new or returning player, online your opponent will almost certainly be using this technique against you. So I want to help to level the playing field. Also, if you're working towards defeating a hardest AI, this will help give you the edge. If you find today's video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ting the notification bell for more Rise of Nations content. Let's dive straight in. So what is this lookout thing all about? In a nutshell, I'm going to show you how to use the lookout to help you find ruins and rare resources more quickly. For those of you who are new to the game, firstly, welcome to Rise of Nations. I hope you're enjoying your stay. But secondly, the ruins are small stone henges dotted around the map which give you a resource bonus each time one of your units collects one. And then the rare resources are a place you can send your merchants from your market, and they provide various powerful bonuses. Both are hugely important, so much so that collecting enough ruins and locating the best rare resources can single-handedly win you the game. It's also infuriating to find a ruin or rare resource in your territory later in the game, when you wish you'd spotted it sooner. Let me explain how this works. At the beginning of the game, you want to send your scout and a few workers out into the fog of war to collect as many ruins and locate as many rare resources as possible. If you want a full guide on how to do this, please watch my scouting guide appearing in the card at the top of your screen. As you scout the map, it's pretty much blind luck as to when you will run into one of these ruins or rares, but you can use the lookout to add more certainty to your search. To use this tool effectively, you must first understand the 4 different shades of the fog of war, as this lookout technique only works in one of them. We all know that the screen is black where your units have not yet explored, and this black is removed as you explore the map. However, once the black is removed to reveal the terrain, etc., there are 3 other shades. The lightest shade is where your units and buildings can currently see right now. The next, slightly darker shade is where your units have been, but since they've moved away, they can no longer see it. The final, even darker shade is where your units have not been, but the black fog of war has been removed because of the site of your buildings, such as the city. This is the shade we're interested in. We're interested in this particular shade because as our units have not yet been there, a ruin or rare could be hiding there. Select a worker and select the lookout. You can use the full stop shortcut and Y followed by A to do this more quickly. It's very important not to actually place the lookout. You just want to use the preview of the building. Wherever this 3rd shade exists, wave your lookout preview over this area. For the most part, the box will be green, to indicate there is nothing preventing you from building the lookout there. Keep going until the box turns red. There are several reasons why the box would turn red to stop you building the lookout. It could be because a mountain is in the way, or trees, or rocks, or water, or just outside your territory. We're not interested in any of these. No. However, when the box turns red, and it's not for any of these reasons, bingo, you're in business. The chances are you've just found the location of a ruin or a rare. Send a worker there immediately to collect your prize. Time is of the essence, but start slow. You don't want to miss the box turning red, and when it does, you want to make sure it's not because of a mountain. Fortunately, a text box appears telling you why the box has turned red. It might say, blocked by trees, or must build in explored territory, but the one you're looking for is blocked by unseen objects. when you find this, don't get excited and left-click to build your lookout. Right-click to remove the lookout preview, and right-click again to send your worker there. That's how you do it. But there are a few further things to discuss if you want to use this to its full potential. You may be asking yourself, why use the lookout? Why not use another building? Good question. There are two reasons to use the lookout. Firstly, it's small. You could use any building, such as the stables, but as a lookout is so much smaller, when it turns red, you know exactly where to send your worker. A bigger building will be less accurate. Then there's the second reason, money. The lookout is the cheapest building available to you at this point. Well, farms and woodcutter camps are pretty cheap too, but you can only build farms near a city and a woodcutter camp near trees, so they aren't suitable for this task. But when is the best time to use this technique, I hear you ask? In theory, you could use it any time you like, but it's best at the beginning of the game, when your search for ruins and rares is most important. Specifically though, it's best right at the beginning, after queuing up your first few workers and sending out your scouts, etc. And also once you've built a new city, as this will create more areas with the particular shade we're looking for. Something worth mentioning is the importance of researching science and its effect on scouting. I go into more detail in my early build order guide for the first age. A card for that is at the top of the screen now. But amongst other things, each science level will increase the line of sight for scouts, cities and lookouts, which is useful. But it also adds 25 to the bonus for each ruin. Researching level 1 science will double your ruin bonus from 25 to 50, and science level 2 will take it to a whopping 75 per ruin. If you have a worker about to collect a ruin bonus, and you're researching science, it can be worth stopping that worker from collecting the ruin until the science research is complete. Right guys, this is a live demonstration of what we're talking about. So I've just loaded up a game here, just playing against the AI. Now, what I want to show you first of all, in a bit more detail, are the 4 shades that I'm talking about. So as you can see here, as the scout moves, here is the lightest shade. He can see this. And what we've got closing in, slightly darker shade here. And as he moves through the fog of war, obviously the black is removing. He's got what he can see here. Now, what you should be able to see, hopefully, is this path here. Now, this is obviously where he walked, and within this, it's gone a slightly lighter colour to what's next to it here. See that? That is the one that we're looking for. So basically all of this around the edge, in effect. Now, it's quite easy to tell the difference between the very bright, the black, and this one, but the slightly more subtle difference is between what we have here, a bit lighter, and what we have here, which is a bit darker. It's lighter, but it's not as light as this. It is also not as dark as this. So we're not interested in this because, well, basically he's already been there. He's walked up there. If there was a ruin or a rare, he'd have seen it. However, for all we know, there's loads of them over here. Okay? So here what we're going to do, I'm just going to hit Alt and full stop. Then YA. There's my lookout. There he is. So I could wave it here if I wanted, but I already know there's nothing there. And you see outside of your territory it's just red anyway. But here is where we're going to focus our search. So now, mountain, blocked by mountain, of course, blocked by trees, and must build within your own territory. We're not bothered about any of that. Oh, however, we've got one already. Blocked by unseen objects. See that? And it's pretty big. You see there, it's a few tiles. So that's probably a rare resource. They're a bit bigger than the ruins. Now, while that guy's going up there, I'm just going to see if we've got any other examples. See, I wasn't sure there, but it says without can't build in your own territories. That's fine. The rocks here, they're a bit of an issue. Oh, what do you know? It was a ruin. Rocks here, can't build on it, but it does say blocked by rocks, so it does tell you. Let's see if we've got anything else I can show you. Oh, blocked by unseen objects. There's another one. There's another one. Let's get this person over here. Now I'm not going to try and make a prediction about what it is this time, because obviously got it wrong last time. Oh, it's a ruin. Go on. No, it's a rare resource. Of course it is. Fine. So, as you can see, this is a pretty reliable way of locating ruins and rare resources when you know where to actually look. Another one there. Let's see if we can find everything else. It's probably not anything else within what we've got here. I'd have to wait until I build a second city to open it up a bit more. But they're going to find it for us. Come on. Now, clearly there's a lot going on at the beginning of the game. You've got plenty of other things to be doing while doing this as well. But you certainly want to be doing this early on, because as you can see, there we go, got another ruin bonus there of 25. Bit of wealth, lovely. As you can see, the villagers, the workers in particular, they have a very, very small radius. So if you send out, let's say, 3 of them in different directions, you're going to have large chunks of your own territory that you've just not looked at. And this is a way of being very precise as to going exactly where those ruins and rares are, rather than having to explore every single inch of it. You can do your little watchtower thing. You'll know that you've got everything. So I've got a couple of rares here, I found a couple of ruins, and then you can venture out and start doing it this way. Yeah? And then when you build your second city, you'll have a similar radius around it, which may have some of these areas as well. And you can do it all over again. It just takes away some of the randomness, because otherwise you're stuck with this. Which is fine, but it's so easy to walk past a ruin that might just be sitting there, it might just be just there, and he just doesn't know, and you don't know. It's so easy to do, so at least within this large area, which is a reasonably large chunk of the map, you can find them. And knowing where the rares are right next door, so important, so important. But there we are, there's your live example. That's everything you need to know about the Lookout Tower. If you found this information useful, please consider subscribing for more content. And don't forget to ting the bell to receive notifications. If you're an experienced player who's used this technique for years and spotted some gaps in my explanation, please feel free to share your knowledge in the comments below. I've noticed a real increase in the number of players recently. Let's all share our knowledge of this brilliant game to give it the popularity it deserves. I've been Twiglets2. This has been Rise of Nations. Take care of yourself. See ya.